Hello, everybody. Another wild day in the world of AI. Today we saw the launch of ChatGPT's new browser called Atlas. I was itching to get a hold of it in between client meetings. I had a couple cancellations. I got 3 hours to test this out earlier today, and I can't wait to show you some of the things that I figured out. My overall impression is, wow, it's going to be a big deal. Still some glitches, but this is going to be very exciting. So stick around. I'm going to show you some of my favorite use cases that I have uncovered. So ChatGPT Atlas was released around 10 a.m. this morning. I'll put a link to the OpenAI broadcast below. Check it out, about 20 minutes long. Definitely worth the watch. Now, where do you go to get it? Simply head to chatgpt.com/atlas. And for now, unfortunately, it is only available for Mac, which is a little bit weird considering that isn't Microsoft one of their biggest investors? They can't be too happy about that. It'll be coming for Windows users very soon, I'm sure. So yeah, I just went here, downloaded, installed it. It automatically imported all of my bookmarks from Chrome, and so far I think the overall browsing experience has been great. The one thing that's a little bit weird when I do get started with Atlas, first I'm like, where's the address bar? There's no address bar anywhere at the top, but you can just type in the URL that you want directly here, and that works. You can also click here and it will expose the address bar. That's where you find it. The three main wins that we're getting from ChatGPT Atlas are context. So it automatically gives you access to all the context in the browser that you're currently working on, and will pair the ChatGPT interface directly side by side with it. So if I'm on a website, I just click this Ask ChatGPT button, and automatically all of the context from this tab is included. So you don't have to go along and say, hey, analyze the website myzone.ai and summarize what it is that they do to help me prepare for a sales meeting. You don't have to say things like that because it knows that. You can just say exactly what you want and it knows that context. Now, it can also reference the entire context of your browser history. There's a couple of ways that you can do that. I mean, one, you can just say to do that, but you can also click in here and say reference browser memory to be more explicit. It's the same way that if you're generating an image, you can say create an image here, or you can also say just create an image while you're doing it. So it works the same way. So it was interesting. I was doing quite a bit of research preparing for this talk, and I was doing the context in a Google Doc and doing research, and then I went over to an Asana task and I was able to reference that. Actually, why don't I show you an example of that? So let's go into a browser. I'm going to do some research here. Go out into the web. I want you to research ChatGPT Atlas, the new browser that just came out from ChatGPT. Find me the top 3 benefits for small to medium-sized business owners and entrepreneurs, and update this Google Doc. Now note, if you're on one of the paid plans, you can use agent mode, which I'm going to. I'm using Whisperflow for text. Don't mind all the extra context about Whisperflow at the bottom. But here I told it to update the Google Doc. It's going to do web research and go. Now this is neat. When agent mode kicks in, you get this cool little sparkly effect and things just happen. So, but right now it's doing research on the web. It's going to update this Google Doc in agent mode, and then I can use this context over here and create some Asana tasks, which I'll show you in 1 second. Now to speed things up, I'm going to pause and come right back, but this usually happens pretty quick. All right, things are just starting to happen. It's decided on a name for the article, ChatGPT Atlas Benefits for SMB. I only waited about 30 seconds before I unpaused it. And look at that, it created the article for me. Now this is context. Now I'm gonna try to use that context elsewhere. So let's head over here to my Asana tab. I created a fake company so you can't see all my personal tasks. Now, I'm gonna open up ChatGPT here on the side. Keep it in agent mode. I'll say, based on the context of the Google Doc you just created on your research about ChatGPT's new Atlas browser, I want you to create a task, assign it to Jeanette Tran, make it due this Friday, come up with a good task subject line. The task we want her to do is to create an email newsletter that we can send to all of our clients. It explains the benefits of ChatGPT Atlas and then includes a link to our YouTube that we've already posted to make sure they're all aware of the benefits. And I tried this and I was shocked. It seems to be working really well and pretty fast. So I created about 5, 6 different Asana tasks, and I think all of but one worked perfectly. So it seems to be built on top of the same agentic, like the agent mode from before. But I think now that the browser is all self-contained with the old operator, it's now agent mode, it just seems to work a lot better. So let's take a look at it here. So you can see it's titled the task, it's assigned it to me, it's choosing the date, it's doing its research and planning. Now, while that is going on, I'm going to show you one little problem I ran into. So sometimes I would open up a different browser and I would be doing something, like say I'm creating a new Google Doc and I'm researching a topic. Ask ChatGPT, can you research a topic that's trending on the web for small to medium business owners, something about AI that's brand new that I should be talking about? So I had different things going on agentically, and I would get these little warning, like a little exclamation mark would appear. So there are some times where you have to be monitoring it. I think it's when it's like logging in and doing things. And the way I solve for it, like I've got multiple monitors here, I was able to just shrink the windows and open it up and have 4 or 5 different agents running around at the same time. Unfortunately, with all my testing today, I also burnt through all of my credits and I had to throw another $100 on there. So agents are a little bit expensive at this time, but let's check in and see how it's doing. It's creating the task. So yeah, one thing you'll notice, it's looking for Jeanette. See, this is a brand new, I didn't want you seeing all my confidential Asana tasks. So Jeanette isn't in this instance of Asana, so it's not working here, but it did work in my main company account. Oh, interesting. Look, it did find Jeanette, even though I guess it grabbed it from my contacts and added the task. Shows she's not a member of the Asana workplace and it's looking to invite her to the workplace. Wow, it's thinking outside the box. Good work here. So I really like that use case. But keep in mind that agents are slow. So you can get off of a call and you got a bunch of tasks that you need to assign. You can just blabber using Whisperflow and tell it what it needs to do. It might take 2 or 3 minutes to research, to collect the data, to add the description, to add the projects, to add the title, put the due dates, it took like 2-3 minutes each task. You don't want to sit around and do that. So I think a key there for being really efficient is having multiple browser windows open so you can have like 3 or 4 agents running around at the same time if you think and talk fast. Another big benefit I forgot to mention earlier is there's no more of this copy paste fatigue. What me and most people were doing before the browser came out is, you'd have a tab open, you'd go to ChatGPT, you'd, write me a really cool song about ChatGPT Atlas new browser, make it catchy and short. You do your work over here and then whatever output would come, then you'd have to like copy it and you'd paste it to other places. So a lot of copy paste, but now that it's all contained directly in the browser, it is so much faster. So normally, like if you had any work here in ChatGPT, you'd have to copy it, then I'd go over to my Google Doc and then I would like paste it, and now you can just do it all in one shot directly from the right side. It's just so much faster and easier. You're not tabbing around. So I think that's probably the biggest benefit, is just having this sidekick here, automatically knowing all the context of the page or website that you're looking for. And it seems like the agent mode is significantly improved with all the extra context it has and the fact that it's all running within its same browser. So let's do a couple additional tests. I want to try to, let's see. I started this one, I didn't finish it. Let's see if it can create a song for us from scratch. Let's see how this goes. I'm also going to try testing its limits and see if I can do a whole bunch of different tasks together in one. Let's see. So first I'm going to open up a Google Doc here, ask ChatGPT. I'm going to put it into agent mode and say, I want you to create a Google Doc here, write a short, catchy song about ChatGPT Atlas, the new browser that understands how you work. Underneath the song, I want you to describe the music style, which should be, let's go with a female singer. Country music will be the genre. It's storytelling, and the goal is to educate people. When they listen to this song, they learn about all the features and benefits of the browser in a catchy way. So the top of the document will be the song, the actual lyrics, and then below, in less than 1,000 characters, will describe the musical genre in a descriptive way. The music genre should be described in a way that will be compatible with Suno AI. After the song and the musical style has been generated, I want you to actually go to Suno AI and generate the song using those custom lyrics and the musical style. Please proceed. All right, that's a whole bunch of different tasks. Let's see how it does. I'll be hitting pause a couple times in between to speed things up for you. So right now you can see it's doing a lot of research. There's its chain of thought reasoning. It's thinking behind the scenes. It's planning out the song. It's interesting. It's getting lost a little bit here. It's clicking on random buttons trying to figure out how to create the article. I might have confused it because it definitely works to create the article, but now that I've got 3 or 4 different tasks in a row, it might be getting confused. Let's see if it can figure this out. Oh, it figured it out. It just inserted the song. So we've got the song, the musical description. It's now naming the document, and let's see if it takes us over to Suno next. Okay, it's found Suno. I was already logged in advance. See if it can figure out how to create the song. It's thinking. If you haven't done that, reading through the chain of thought reasoning is a really neat way to understand how AI is thinking. So I always recommend my clients to spend at least half an hour one day reading through all that chain of thought reasoning. All right, it found the create button. Let's see if it knows the difference between a simple and a custom song and knows where to place the lyrics and the styles. Okay, it found the lyrics, it found the styles, it entered. It's now creating the song. Bam, look at that. Here we go. Suno in action. And if you haven't used Suno.com before, it's amazing. It creates these songs in like 10 seconds. First song is, I think I can already play it if I take control of the browser. I'm just going to take control of the browser from here so I can hit the play button. World premiere.
Hey there, friend, got a brand new tool. A browser that's smart, keeps it cool. ChatGPT Atlas knows how you work.
Wow. Okay, so that was weird. I couldn't actually stop the music and I closed all the different browser windows. There was no indication of where the music was coming from. And this shows you, these are the early days. I found quite a few bugs where things would just freeze up. Like sometimes I would drag a browser out of a window like this. I would create a new tab and then I would drag it off into a different window, and then that window would just freeze up and nothing would happen. Like I said, 4 to 5 Asana tasks worked properly, but there was occasional bugs and glitches. So at the same time, I'm super impressed. Like we just saw it there. For the first time, it went and did 3 tasks. It researched the song, it wrote the lyrics, it did the music description, it went to Suno, wrote and actually created the song all together without getting too confused. And it did that whole thing in about 3 minutes. So that's pretty impressive. But at the same time, once it started playing the song, I couldn't stop the music. I literally had to shut down ChatGPT browser, like Atlas, completely and restart it. So it's still a little bit glitchy. But one of the things I always talk about in my workshops is that this is as dumb as AI gets. Like if we literally fast forward 12 months from today, we won't even recognize the world of AI that we're living through right now. It'll just seem like we're in the stone ages. So I do think, even though it's a little bit glitchy, play around with it. Another thing I wanted to check earlier was just to see just how fast the browser was compared to other browsers. And I ran a little test. I'm going to show you what that looked like. So the first thing I did is ask ChatGPT, where do I go to assess the speed of a browser? And it recommended Speedometer. Oh, actually, this is another cool feature that I like, is as you click links directly within ChatGPT, it just updates the browser, assuming it's a real link. So that's really handy. But yeah, I started this test and I ran this on Chrome, on Brave, on Safari, and ChatGPT. And their scores were fairly comparable. So last I checked, this came in at about a 33 31.8 was the score. This is Safari. Now, Safari came in the fastest. I think it was about a 48. Oh, 39. Not that much of a difference. Okay, and our final test here will be with Chrome. Brave was very similar to Chrome. I think it's built on top of Chrome. And Chrome comes in at 36. So ChatGPT was the slowest. It was statistically insignificantly slower. And most importantly is like when you're using it and just clicking around, everything seems to be working very fast. So like, for example, I go to YouTube and click on things. I just played around and testing on everything. And it was just loading as fast as I possibly needed. So I didn't see any issues there with speed. I'm sure some of you might have some security concerns. What's going to happen with all of this data? I think this is an even better reason to be on one of the paid plans, because as you should know, with the paid plans for ChatGPT, you can turn off sharing data with the model, which you should already do under your settings and data controls. Improve the model for everyone turned off. Now it does combine the context that it has from training and memory within ChatGPT, plus the context in your open browser tabs, plus it can look at your browser history. So it does have a ton of context, and that's why I think it performs better, as we know AI continues to improve the more context that it has. To summarize this, the new browser, the main benefits are no more copying and pasting and switching between tabs. You can do that together. The context has dramatically changed now. We can combine the context from ChatGPT, your history, your memory there, along with your browser tabs and your browser history. It seems to be pretty fast right now, and there seems to be improvements with agent mode, some of those complex agentic tasks that I have been testing, but I encourage you to play around with it, test it out. I do recommend that you get onto a paid plan of ChatGPT if you're going to be using this, because you're giving up a ton of context. And before you give it access to your browser history, you might want to clear some of that and use incognito windows when you're looking at naughty looking websites. Anyways, my name is Mike Schwartz. I'm the CEO of MyZone AI. We help small to medium-sized businesses transform and become AI first organizations. I'm new to YouTube, just getting started with this. If you like the content so far, I appreciate a subscribe, a comment, a like. It goes a long way to getting the algorithm to support what I'm trying to do here. I'm sort of going with the Mr. Beast strategy, just put out a lot of content and just keep getting 1% better over time. So I know I'm not Matt Wolf yet or Wes Roth, but I will be getting there. Just watch, give me a little bit of time. So thank you so much for your support. You guys have an amazing day and hope you're having fun with AI. Thanks, guys.